there, Blade fans. Welcome back to OG Blade Reviews. That is I. And we're talking balisongs today, but one with a little different name. But I thought we'd start off very quickly, in case you get bored and all that kind of stuff, and you fast forward and get out of 3 minutes out of a 15-minute video. Okay. Rant is over. This is a balisong. This is a Batangas style balisong, and this happens to be one that I dulled up and made a practice or butter knife, as we used to call them, balisongs out of. It's a boker, and it's a nice smooth balisong. You know, you can do all your little tricks with it. It may not be the one that you aerial artists like to use. You have specialized ones. I'm so sarcastic today, aren't I? Okay, sorry about that. What I wanted to show you is that your typical balisong from the Philippines has two handles. And I think balisong has something to do with broken horn, as I originally understood it. There's a handle with a latch and there's a handle without a latch. On this style balisong, the Batangas style, the handle without the latch is your safe handle or your non-bite handle. The one with the latch is your bite handle, and you can see if you're not careful and you let it snap against your fingers, even this semi-dull one, it's going to hurt. It's going to bite, as the name implies. So the other is the Manila balisong, and then you just have the latch on the other side. So then you would be holding the handle with the latch on it to be the safe handle. I prefer the Batangas. It's the one I sort of learned initially, way back in the 80s when I started taking Filipino martial arts, Piccati Tercia, as a matter of fact. So yeah, there you go. That's your traditional balisong. We're going to bring it back for a compare in a moment. But what is on the table today? Spyderco? What? I almost never do Spyderco reviews. I've done a few. Look what we have here. And this is the Janisong folder. Plain edge, not serrated. Made in Taiwan, and there's a whole legal structure around this as far as importing balisongs from outside the U.S. If they're made outside the U.S. or even switchblades made outside the U.S., I believe there's some restriction about getting them imported. Of course, nowadays, who knows what restriction with tariffs and whatnot. We're talking April 2025 here, so that I date the video for those that may see it a year from now when everything changes. Anyway, these came out a number of years ago, invented by Michael Janich, well known for his blade, his combative blade principles and teachings and so forth. Plain old Spyderco box like you get all your other Spydercos in, but what the hey is this? Yeah, this is a single-handled balisong, referred to as the Janis song, as in Janich, Michael Janich. Janisong. Get it? I'm sure you do. And what we have is an inner handle and an outer handle. So he took the second handle and he put it on the inside. And it is locked up, not going anywhere. There are 4 attachment points for your clip. So nobody's going to cry about how they're going to carry it. You lefties are in luck, either point up, point down, or what have you. With this one, we're not sure, but we will find out in a moment. Double-sided safety. Take it off. It's still a little stiff. Probably will break in. And if I hold it this way, there is that inner handle, and there is the blade. And now we have a locked up, rigid, fixed blade, really, unless you let go of it. But if you don't want to worry about that, it's a little stiff, like I said. There. Now, nothing opens, nothing closes. It's locked. Okay. So, very, very interesting. Now, while you look at it there, I'll tell you a little bit about what Spyderco says about the Janisong. And there you can freeze frame that. But I will give you the link as well. It's a one-of-a-kind folding knife that elevates the spirit of the traditional Filipino balisong to a practical yet dramatic modern cutting tool, the brainchild of knife designer Michael Janich. Its patented mechanism, and don't try to copy this now, it's patented, consists of an outer handle, an inner handle, and a full flat ground CPM S30V stainless steel blade. And all joined by a single pivot pin rotating the inner handle 360 degrees, reveals the blade and locks it securely in an open position, ambidextrous sliding latch, etc., etc. So Mike Janich endeavored to give us a balisong that is both fidgety and practical, in that, practically speaking, if you hold the handle, the outer handle, you will never encounter a bite from the blade, because the blade is on the inner handle facing handle, you see? So normally this would be your second handle, and it would be the bite handle, and you would maybe sometimes hold it there as you're manipulating the balisong. But here we've got just a straight out flippy balisong. It is thicker in the handle than your traditional balisong. There is the, well, it's close to the same, but it's a little more squared off. So let's take a look at some of the complicated, fairly, mechanisms in here. Take it off of lock. And again, that's going to take a little bit to break in. But once we look at what we've got going on here, you can see that there's a lot happening here, okay? And what did I do? Okay, I locked it and I thought it had it unlocked. There's your inner handle, and there are no less than 4 barrel spacers on that inner handle. 2 are pinned in, and 2 have screws. This is ventilated here, or skeletonized, for lightening it. And we also have skeletonization on the inside. They are fairly thick liners on this guy. And there you can see the mechanism on the inside. I don't know that it will move if I don't have the knife all the way opened or all the way closed. You can see we've got some decent jimping here, actually fairly grippy on both the blade, or the tang of the blade, and on the frame, on the liners, that is. But what is raised higher than liners is the tang of the blade. So you're really encountering the grippiness from the blade and not so much from those liners. But I can tell you that it's grippy, and it does give you a tactile sense of when you're, even if you're not looking, that you're approaching the blade, because there's no bona fide guard. However, with these double swales here on both sides, you have kind of a dagger setup. So really excellent for your pical work, I would say, as well as your edge forward, point up, what we call sock work. Let's do some measurements on this guy. So overall, why don't we lock it up while we're measuring it? There we go. Really solid lockup, by the way. And again, that's ambidextrous. Well, both sides. You could call it ambidextrous. I guess it is. Overall length is just a bit more than 8.25, so I guess that's 8.3 overall. Fairly short blade of 3.3. I think that's what they're calling it anyway. And what you do notice is that it seems to be fairly disproportionate, the length of the blade with the handle. But I would imagine that's got a lot to do with the mechanics of it and getting the thing to work. Could they have stuffed a longer blade in here? I don't know. Maybe if this becomes popular, since it is out again, we will see some variants of it. Never know. So thicknesses in inches, fairly thick handle, 0.60, and 0.11 on the blade stock, which ends up being in millimeters, 2.9 millimeters. And finally, if I can find it, there's the scale. Leave it open for the weight, just for convenience. And we're going to round the weight around to grams. Okay. So in grams, we've got a weight of 153.3, and in ounces, 5.4 ounces. All right. So you're saying, well, that's not too light. I don't know that we can accomplish everything, guys. This is an older design, and it's been reinvigorated by having it, I think it was originally made in Taiwan, but I do not know why it is now available. I will tell you this. I got this from White Mountain, and it comes under the White Mountain Auto Knives category. Yes, they do have an Auto Knives category at White Mountain, if you were not aware of that. So comes under that classification there. And you cannot use discount codes when you're buying automatic knives from White Mountain. As far as I know, that Justin up at White Mountain has told me. I looked around. I got this, was delivered like yesterday. So I got to play with it a little bit so I can learn about it and how it works and tell you guys. But White Mountain has, of this date, run out. So, okay, that's fine. And I looked at Blade HQ. They seem to have them in stock and available. And I looked at Knife Center, and they've got them available. So I'll leave you links to all three, Blade HQ, Knife Center, and White Mountain. And probably, I think they might be available at DLT Trading, is it? DLT? Yeah. Anyway, there it is again. A few tricks. Probably comes a little bit dry. I am not sure if they're running it on bearings. And that could be a reason for some of the thickness and the heaviness of it. Heaviness from the thickness of the liner, which I like, and flat ground blade of just under that 3 millimeter mark, which isn't particularly thick. And some of the weight, obviously, or the thickness rather, may come from the fact that they squeezed some bearings in there. Let's see what Spyderco says. I still got that page up. Let's see. And they give you all this kind of accessibility, security, so on and so forth. Who can buy it, who can't buy it, so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't see. See, it does say new. This is a recent page. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description, but I can't tell you right now whether they're running it on washers or running it on bearings. I'm going to say it could be washers, since it is very smooth, but sometimes this inner handle, not being as heavy, tends to be just a little slow, not having the weight of a regular balisong. So here's your difference once again. Two-handled balisong and the one-handled balisong, that is inner and outer handled. balisong. Obviously, this is longer because most balisongs that I find have at least a 4-inch blade. Some are shorter, some have a 5-inch blade. Traditionally, they're about 5-inch blades if you buy them from the Philippines. And they can go way up to like sword length, you know, what they call the 29. It's the one that supposedly dispatched 29 warriors back in the day. I'd say this is about 3/4 of an inch longer blade on this guy. Bit lighter than this one. If we must, we'll take a quick measurement of that. See what we got for ounces on this anyway. So actually, yeah, a little bit lighter, about 1/2 ounce lighter on the traditional balisong from Boker. I think they're running this one on bearings. In fact, I'm almost certain they're running it on bearings. It's just really quite smooth. Good balisong, and you know they're running about $75. They're not real cheap, but they're, again, I've got 2 of them, and I turned this one into a practice, so it has kind of a rounded point somewhat, still kind of stabby, and no edge to bite you. Should you be trying new stuff and might get bit. Here is, for size, once again, Rat 1. Rat 1's a good inch longer against the Griptilian from Benchmade. And of course, Benchmade began life as a balisong company, exactly the same length. So if you got a Griptilian, same length. Blade on the Griptilian, about a 1/2 inch longer, maybe. Something like that. And let's take a look and see. Did I lock it again? No, I didn't. Okay, so unlocked is back, locked is forward. Yeah, you see, because of these barrel spacers that they needed to support the inner and outer handles, that blade is about 3/4 of an inch shorter than the handle. So that's why you've got the short blade and the longer handle. Here's a good view of it right there. Just terminates on the shy side of those barrel bushings for good reason. You don't want them to run into those bushings. So, you know, you can do most of your usual tricks with this guy. You can do the vertical, open and close with the edge up. If you hold it over here, it isn't going to flip. So you can't get that bite handle. There's no bite handle really other than here. You can use this for some of your tricks as though it was a second handle, but just realize that's facing the edge. You don't have the weight again, so what I find is that, and with the squarish handle that's got just a little bit of chamfer here, but it's basically square. So with your traditional balisong, you're going to have more of a rounded over edge, even though these are fairly flat. On some of the original balisongs from Benchmade, used to be the Balisong Company, used to be Pacific Cutlery, etc. They are more rounded. They have like a hump in the middle. So here we've got a perfectly flat handle, hence rolling it in the hand to do your flips is a little clumsier, shall we say, than a traditional balisong. Deep carry clip, if I didn't mention it or you didn't see it, and flat-headed screws, and the clip rides on the surface of the handle. Well, I've gone way longer than I expected to, but I just thought of this, got some paper here. As with all Spydercos that I've bought, we've got a wicked edge. That's a sharpener too. It's just crazy bitey and smooth, very aggressive. All right, Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to give the vid a like and subscribe over here by clicking my logo if you haven't already. I'll be back soon. Be well and stay safe.